Hey there guys, it's Kage DQT coming at you. This one, we're going to be doing a guide for the summer event and also some feedback on it as well. Now, I'll start off with the simple things here. I know this event is very bare bones. I mean, pretty much everybody should be able to clear all the fights on the table. I'm not too sure on the EX fight, which we will be getting at this point on the 20th. That is slated to show up then for the Giuliante EX battle, which says New Summer Fest boss battle, so I believe that's Giuliante. I don't think there's anything else to it. I'm not even sure if there's going to be some extra items in the ticket shop, but let's begin. This one here has a couple of things. Let me adjust this too. My bad. There we go. Cool. Now this event has a couple of things here that are more troublesome than usual. Well, I've already cleared all the events. You know, it is what it is. I've already got the new unit, which I strongly recommend you do push for. You do get this Ghost to Awakening 5. He's the only farmable unit in this event. I would get him now. I mean, there's, his skill set. Well, you might be asking what's so special about him. Well, he's got an ability that can lower defense and stun at the same time for a debuff. So it's a double debuff. It has the ability to lower defense as one, has the ability to stun units as well in a 3 count. That's major. That's, this unit is something even JP players have talked about, using. It still has value, immense value, and as you noticed here, I've shown an example. At level 1, it goes up 1% for the chance. So 10, I'm assuming, is going to be 10% for that chance. The other thing to get in this event, and this one's going to be a little bit of gamble, is you're going to try for the grilled corn. You can't really farm this. You can only get it through the event missions for the most part and through the limited shop. You particularly want to get some combination of Zam type Brilliance or Spell Potency. The roll I got here is pretty good. Could be better. I mean, the middle... we would have wanted, instead of MP, more Zam potency for this, something of that nature, but there's very limited rolls on this. Now, we're looking for this event, you want to be able to take out the missions. You want to get 50 clears on, now mind you want to get 50 clears on stage 10, because stage 11 does not count for the mission. You want hard mode stage 10 50 times to get all the rewards. You also want hard mode stage 6 every time to get the rewards. And plus you want to farm this stage until you get this Vendor Ghost maxed out. Now it may take you a couple of days, depending on the refreshes you use, but you want this unit maxed out. There's no reason to avoid this unit or skip out on them. There's nothing else going on this week. With that being said, the only other missions are 5 times for normal stage 10, 5 times for normal stage 6. Those go by quickly. There will also be the daily stages. Now, what we really need to take a look at here with this event, and it's the real crux of it, and people have brought it up before, it's like, well, yeah, you can get more tokens per day, but, I mean, I'm at personally a point where I've got the Ghost maxed, I've done all the missions, and I still need a bit of tokens left. Now, mind you, I have spent on the XP as well, which I did that to power up some units, so I could have avoided that on my end. But I noticed I got the orb, I got the stam, I got the illustrious irises, and of course I got the tickets done. And now I'm focusing on the crystals. Well, it's tough because right now, if we just boil down what I've spent in terms of stam and getting everything, I'm still, 500 away from maxing out the gold. 4,500 there, and then if I want the ability scroll, that's another 1,500. So now I'm at 6K, and then I've still got 300, 30 to get for the beast fragments, another 4 for the undead. I mean, that's almost another 10,000 tokens, and there's no battle road you can do to get a couple of tokens. That just doesn't happen here. It's grinding out these stages, and you come to a point where, well, okay, you can grind some fans out, that's great, but I mean, once you get that fan to an ideal roll, there's not really much reason to continue farming this event. It's going to be coming down to, you know, what you really want to focus on. Like right now, I have another 9, so let's, you know what? Let's, for the sake of science, let's roll. Let's see what we get. I personally want to get some extra HP on this thing. I want to get a lot of HP on it. I don't really care about any of those rolls. No. Okay, so let's try again. We got, what, 2 more or 4 more. Okay, let's see here. No, that one psyched me out too. Let's see, 40. Nah. So it could take you a while to get a decent roll. It all depends what you want to go for. If you're looking to build up Giuliante, you're probably going to want to tailor the fan around Giuliante. If you're looking for attack or HP, it could take you a while. Well, that brings us to the other questions. Well, now what happens when you've got all the events done? I mean, the events quests are done. You've got the Ghost maxed. Well, that leads us to the very last stage on hard, which is going to be stage 11. 18 stam. Let's see how many tokens we get, because I don't remember. I've only done this stage once, so we'll do it twice. We'll see if we can get a couple of different tokens, and we'll just auto it out, because we're looking to just get some units, a little bit of XP, even though it's not really, these events are never really to boost up XP for your units. The XP per stam cap is very, very poor in that regard, so that's not exactly something you're looking to do. But let's see what we're looking at here. Because somebody had brought up on their Discord, Lucas, he's like, well, if you get 4,800 a day or so, that's pretty good. Well, I mean, the event's going on for, what, another 11 days? And even with what I just calculated in, you'd have to get more than 480 a day to be able to realistically get everything you want. And that's assuming you don't want the other things, too. You don't want the extra scrolls. You don't want the extra books. It's... I don't know. I mean, this one, I really wish there was some other things here, or that the token generation is a little bit better, which it may be here. We may find out in a minute that it's pretty solid after we're done, you know, taking out this stage here. We may get an influx of tokens, because again, you're not supposed to focus on this stage until the very end, after you get the 50 done and everything of that nature. So let's see, for 18 stam, let's see how many we got here. 1,000 XP, doesn't really matter. 90 tokens, 2 fans. Okay, so we got 90 tokens there for 18 stam. Let's do one more. Let's see if that was a high, low, or if that was kind of an average. Well, let's hold on to that number. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna clear this out again, see what happens. It's also good we got some fans too. I mean, I think the drop rate for these is probably a lot higher on this stage. So in that regard, that isn't too bad. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Beat him up. Oh! Okay, let's see where we're at this round. Let us see. $90 again, no fan. Okay, so, you know, potentially maybe we get 90 for the stage all the time. Average refresh, you're going to get about 450 tokens. Let's say you do 6 refreshes a day doing that. Let's see what that generates to. 2,700 tokens. We've got how many days left in this event? We've got 14. Most technically, I think we have a little bit less than that. I think we have 12 or 11 days. $11 days left. Okay, so if we do that times 11, I mean, yeah, technically we could. That's just rough though. I mean, I don't know on this one. I mean, I could see if there were some other units to farm or something of that nature, but having to spend 300 gems a day, maybe not even that much. I mean, you could still farm this out, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where you're going to have to commit a considerable amount of time to the stage, and I guess work on the fan if you really want to get the stuff out of the token shop here. There's no real other units to be had in terms of farming or anything of that nature, and if you are looking to build up materials or try and get some other units or awakenings, you're not really going to put much ground into this, because you're gonna end up having to get more of these stages done. So realistically, it's going to take you about 5 to 6 days of farming that last stage to get everything you want, maybe a little bit longer if you're doing about 6 refreshes a day. I mean, if you're only doing 3 a day, that's not looking too good, but I mean, you could potentially get that done by the end. But in this case, it's one of those things where I feel like, you absolutely need the gold. You absolutely need that orb. The irises are good too, the tickets. And, it's one of those things where this feels like more of a busy week thing, and, potentially you could skip some of these in terms of the scrolls. You don't really need some of these C rank scrolls. I don't really see those. I mean, if you're looking to build CP, yeah, sure, that's great. Chilly Breath. I would absolutely get the fragments, though. I mean, I would absolutely get those. And if you don't get a good roll on the corn, I mean, you could try 5 for the corn for 100, but I mean, if you're looking for some extra stuff out of this event, it's pretty much not really here. This is more of a very bare bones event. There's not too much to it. It's more of a catch-up week. Get what you can and then focus on some other stuff. I'd stockpile some materials. I would stockpile, potentially gold. I would, look for stages where you can farm units and also fight some goodie bags or other things where you're getting more gold per stam, which that isn't a bad thing. But ultimately, I'd say the best thing about this event is the ghost. You want that ghost. You want that ghost maxed up. That's top priority. I just wish there was some other things we could farm to kind of double up on the value for this one, like the past events where, you had several different monsters you could max awaken, and while doing that, you also maxed out, the tokens you needed for the event. Or people would do the battle roads, grind those out, get some tokens that way. But here we don't really have any of those, so, I mean, the best we can do is once you get that stage done, you go in there and you just start doing refreshes on that last stage, a couple times a day. Just put a dent in it, because realistically we're looking about spending about 15 to 20k tokens if you're trying to get a majority of things, or if you're trying to be on the minimalist side, about 15 to or 12 to 15k, I'd say. But that would be about it. And I know people are going to be like, well, it's a great time to catch up. Other people are going to be like, well, this sucks, there's not much to do. I'm in the kind of this sucks, there's not much to do campaign, because I mean, let's be honest, I don't want to sit there and farm the fan over and over again on stage, 11 hard. I'd rather be doing awakenings and other things, and I'll probably balance that out, because I do want to keep growing my roster and get awakenings on weaker units, since in the future they could potentially be useful. But I mean, if you do have limited stam per day, I would do that stage as soon as you get through with your 50. You get all the extra goodies. Start pushing that as much as possible, because again, do not take this event lightly. Even though there's not much to do here, the shop is very extensive. There is a lot of things to buy. And then the other thing I looked at here is I also noticed that there was a new set pack in the shop for beast fragments. 10 of these, how much is it for? Almost 1k paid gems. I mean, I guess if you're like getting close to being able to, get a meeting ticket, or well, an awakening crystal for a beast monster you really want to upgrade again, a Dragoir or something, I would grab it. I'd grab 1 or 2 of these, whatever you need. But otherwise, just grabbing it for the sake of grabbing it, Nah, I mean, I don't know. Doesn't really seem that great. You know, the biggest catch to it is the beast fragments, and I'm not sure if it's a one-time bonus or if it's multiple after you buy the first one. So if somebody can confirm in the comments for me to correct me on that, because again, I'm probably not going to go out of my way to get this. I don't really need it, but that would be great. But otherwise, just don't sleep on this event. Get the stuff out of the shop. Don't drag your feet on it, because again, even though there's not a lot to do here, once you do finish those quests, once you do get that Ghost Max, you've easily got another 10 to 12k tokens, potentially more or less, depending on how unlucky you are getting that Ghost, to finish out that shop and get the rest of the necessities you need, and then maybe even stuff you don't need but you'd like to have in stockpile too. So that's going to be the major thing. And plus, we also don't know if we're going to get additional items when the other boss battle comes into play on the 20th. But other than that, folks, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to give you guys an idea of what I felt for the event, how to kind of proceed with it, because it is a little wonky. There's not really anything right now that we need help with clearing. Most of this stuff you'll be able to auto. You'll be able to walk all over it. This event was tailored towards back when the game originally came out. And I know people also said, well, yeah, they're not changing anything for global. That's a bad sign. And, well, they couldn't even change anything to make money off of us back when there was the DQ35 event, and we only had 2 ticket banners instead of 3. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. If they could do it to make money off of us, they would, but they're going to give us the content as it was presented, and we'll just have to do with it that way and expect it. We can't really expect any additions unless they flat out say, hey, this event is going to be tweaked for global in a specific way. Just don't have that mindset in the back of your head. Just assume you're going to get it the way it was, and, you know, take it for what it is. Because again, they could have made a lot of money off of us on that DQ35 event selling an extra ticket or something, but they could not modify that package because we didn't have that additional banner. There was no way they were going to be able to sell us 2 tickets when we could only have utilized 1 extra one. So keep that in mind, folks, with this game and how it's run. But bright side, we've got some really good content coming down the woodwork for next month. I know right now it's going to be a little dry for most people. It's not too much to do. I mean, we'll go over the EX fight when it comes out next week. I'll have a video or 2 on some other things I want to go over at some point. And we'll keep doing our arena matches and keep hitting our head against the wall this week, because it's not very friendly for my team. But otherwise, just wanted to make sure everybody had some little bit of information here, help out where I can. And, you know, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. It's DQT signing out. I will see you next time, folks. And grind those tokens, because, again, there's a lot to get here. Take care.